Panthers Nation, what up? Coming to you with breaking news, and this is a funny one, man. It's getting very messy in the scary hours in the state of South Carolina as David Tepper's real estate holdings entity has declared bankruptcy, Chapter 11 to be specific, for the project related to the groundbreaking and headquarters relocation and development in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Now, bear with me because let me introduce myself. My name is Aaron Duncan here with the Necessary Blunt Sports Talk. I do recap and analysis of the Panthers, so if you want to stay up to date on news like this and all kind of breakdowns and stuff, hit the subscribe button down below and the bell icon to make sure you stay up in the loop on all that, okay? But Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Now, I know when people hear the word bankruptcy, it can be a hot word because there's a sense of failure and I guess brokenness to say that. And a lot of people hear that word and it's like, okay, why is a billionaire declaring bankruptcy? Clearly he has the money. He's one of the richest owners in the NFL. Why would he declare bankruptcy? And it's a business tactic. I know to the common everyday person, there's different chapters of bankruptcy you can declare. And it's just a settlement. When you owe money to certain people, you want to get a settlement straight up and straightforward that you can get something that you can attain and get maybe possibly a settlement. That way you pay less than what you owe. Or if you feel like it's getting pretty messy, you need somebody to sort it out. And that's exactly what happened here. Obviously, the $200 million that was spent going into this $800 million project, it's got to go somewhere, and people are wanting their money back, from contractors to any kind of people like architects, designers, developers. They want their money back because they were expecting to get a big return on this. There's a lot of work that was probably done that hasn't been paid, because when you do construction jobs, the way it's financed a lot of times is that Tepper probably didn't pay everything. They probably got a loan from the bank, all these grants and stuff. But what happens is contractors and stuff, they do the work. And once they do the work, partway through, they'll get paid for the work that they've done. They'll do more work, get paid for what they've done. They don't get paid as soon as it happens. They don't get paid before it happens. That's just the way the nature of it works. And if this thing got put to a halt because the money wasn't coming in that Tepper expected or wanted to from the city or the government, whatever controversy, there was plenty of work that was probably done that hasn't been paid out. Now, there's creditors up to over talking $20 million that they claim they're owed money, including the county of York County, that claims they're owed $21 million for some road development that they put together around a stadium. Now, why York County is asking for money when it seems like the government and local city was part of the reason why this project fell through, we'll probably find a little more info about that going forward. But it's just a head scratcher. Because Chapter 11 bankruptcy, the way it's going to work is that, according to David Tepper and his entity, these creditors and contractors and people are claiming they're owed money that they're not really owed. So Tepper said, let's go to court. I'll declare bankruptcy. Let them figure this out. They're going to go through all the invoices, the work that was done, the designing, the development, see what money was put out, see what money hasn't been put out, and then figure out, okay, who's actually owed what amount of money. That way, David Tepper knows that he's not getting the wool pulled over his eyes and he's paying the correct amount of money. Now, on the internet, these internet streets, they're not as kind to David Tepper. They're not as understanding as me. They are roasting David Tepper. And even the city of Rock Hill is roasting David Tepper. Local businesses, they're taking a hit from this because they expected something to be happen. Look at Substation 2. They have a billboard up front that says that they're now promoting the Tepper sub because they will quit when things are halfway through. I've heard from David Tepper's Entertainment that they said that they want to actually order the Rock Hill sub sandwich. The sub sandwich where you ask for it, but you don't pay for anything. That was a good clapback. I'm not going to lie. That's not really what they said, but it would be funny if David Tepper said that. Nevertheless, David Tepper is not about talking in the media. He's doing action. We did get some statements from York County claiming that they're owed that money and that they're disappointed in this and that. So they continue to play these games and continue to play politics. David Tepper doesn't have the answer to that. David Tepper's not running for office. David Tepper can't be fired. David Tepper can't be elected out. He can't be impeached. These politicians like Lindsey Graham and some of the other state senators that were playing politics, trying to talk trash about Tepper in the media, calling him Jerry Jones, they're the ones they're going to have to answer to these taxpayers who forked out this $20 million that you claim you spent on this road, and you may not get it back, or you may only get a fraction of it. Who knows? Because they're the guys that have to divvy up this money. They're these guys that have they have to supposed to serve the best interest of the taxpayer. And all this tax money that got sunk into this project that they're probably not going to be able to recover, it's going to look bad when it comes to election time in the fall. So David Tepper is applying pressure by making things happen, and it is what it is. Any hope that we possibly thought of them maybe renegotiating, which is what York kind of put out a couple of weeks ago when we heard from David Tepper, it seemed like it's all for naught. The bankruptcy pretty much shuts the door on any type of renegotiation or going back to the table and possibly salvaging this project. Now, what does this mean going forward? To me, the first thing I think about is training camp. That means that it's probably going to be in Wofford for the foreseeable future going again. I mean, I know it's a little bit sad of it possibly in the last few times being there. I love Spartanburg. I love going up there during the summer. Yes, it's hot, but I love the college campus. I just love the city in general, and it's dope to be up there. So that was cool to me versus having to go to Rock Hill. It's going to be weird because the Panthers, now what do? You're going surveying again where you're going to different places to look to where to possibly put this. And now the effort from Tepper, he came out when he bought the team wanting to be 2 states, 1 team, 1 Carolina, trying to involve South Carolina and putting the headquarters in South Carolina was going to be a big step of kind of joining the states together again, because outside looking in, a lot of people don't think that South Carolina really has any rights per se to the Carolina Panthers because the Panthers are in Charlotte, but it's called the Carolina Panthers, and the logo is literally shaped like the border of North Carolina and South Carolina. But you can't argue with certain people that don't know. Nevertheless, I just think that this is a big step back for trying to unite, quote unquote, the Carolinas and make those things happen. However, I don't expect any kind of new prospect of breaking ground anywhere else to come anytime soon with obviously David Tepper trying to settle these things. Now, fortunately, because of the separate entities and separate business ventures, this will not affect Tepper Sports and Entertainment, which is affiliated with the Carolina Panthers and the Charlotte FC. There would be some legal trouble with the NFL if that was the case, but David Tepper is smart enough to go ahead and divvy up these things and keep things separate from a liability standpoint, that the money that he has tied up with both those new franchises, it's not getting affected. So going forward, it's not really a huge deal in terms of the Panthers in general, but it's just something to keep in mind because they're still looking for a new headquarters and a new home eventually. Where will that happen? What does this mean for the prospects of possibly having a new stadium somewhere when it comes to negotiating with the South Carolina or North Carolina or wherever he may want to move it, or if it comes to putting the stadium in the South Carolina again at a later date? I don't know, but I'll definitely be staying on top of it and giving you news and updates. So you guys make sure you stay tuned, subscribe, and have those bell notifications on. That way you don't miss a thing. But without further ado, I'm signing off with the necessary bluntness sports talk. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.